Happy 5 January. Welcome to Fire for Fact Live. My name is Chris, and welcome to the shit show. I'm going to invite my band of hooligans in here in a second. Notice I said Happy New Year, not Happy New Year's. I fucking hate that. Happy New Year's is possessive, hence the apostrophe S. So it's okay if you say New Year's Eve because New Year's owns the eve, much like you say Happy Birthday, Chris, not Happy Birthday, Chris's. But if you say Chris's birthday, that's okay. Just so we're fucking explicitly clear here. Let's bring the boys in. There's one. It's fucking true. Listen, that's English 101 for all you infantry fuckers out there.
Is that how it works, eh?
I fucking hate Happy New Year's. It's not Happy New Year. It's fucking Happy New Year. Hey. Get it right. Understand basic fucking English. What's going on? How was Christmas? How was New Year's? I know we talked after Christmas. What did you guys do for New Year's? New Year's Eve.
Well, I myself went and spent some time in Morinville. Went and saw my kids, and then I went and hung out with a close friend of mine, and basically smoked the New Year's away.
I'm sure you did. Morgan, what'd you do?
Me and the wife. Yeah, exactly. I just hung out in my shitter. I've been sitting here waiting like a coiled spring. New Year's Eve is always is my wife's birthday, so I kind of do whatever she wants.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So we actually went down to my brother-in-law's place, and we hung out there and rang in the New Year with my brother-in-law and his wife, which I actually get along with both of them, which is nice.
Did you get her some of those fucking weed bath bombs or bath
balls? Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't have done it without Bryce. So thanks again for that, Bryce.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right on.
Yeah. She was pretty impressed. So that's good.
Good. Let me roll through some sponsors here, and then I'm going to get into not so much an apology, so much as a clarification on my man. So, again, for those of you jumping in, welcome to Fire for Effect Live. Fire for Effect and Fire for Effect Live is brought to you by the Dean Blundell Network of Podcasts. Check out deanblundell.com. You fucking guys hit mute. Fucking amateurs. You'd think we'd have this figured out by now. DeanBlundell.com, Canada's largest digital source for news, sports, podcasts, and generally interesting shit. Also brought to you by Positive Mike's Brewing Company. I don't have all the cool fucking swag photos that Bonzi puts up. I'm going to get to Bonzi in a second. Positive Mike's Brewing, you can get the gear. You can't get the beer yet. I'm lucky. I got more fucking beer than what Mike brought over because Bonzi had to leave a bunch behind. So I'm doing quite well when it comes to Mike's beer. Brought to you by Mr. Hooper Inc. That's Bryce's organization. Anything you want to know or learn about cannabis culture, medicinal cannabis uses, and other alternatives to medicine, get a hold of Bryce. You know how to do it. You got all his handles. Lastly, my good friends at Lakeside Farmstead, north of Edmonton, producers of local dairy and meat products. Sorry, I'm abbreviating this. Sorry, I've also been drinking all fucking day. I was on Dean's show for like 2 hours. There you go. So before we jump in, boys, we have two guests tonight. They're going to come in a little later on. Mr. James P. White from the Jedi Jimmy podcast and Tara Graves from the TNT podcast, which is all about chicks and cars. We'll get to them later on. So I was on Dean's show for a couple hours today on the back end. As you guys all know, I had a guest, Bonzi, my main man. Hey, Glassy, Glassy's fucking spying now, so I better not fuck this up. So Bonzi has been getting the shit beat out of him on Dean's show by Lachlan and Dean and and it's all in good fun. And I equate it to, and you guys be able to speak to this. Army guys, fuck, are the worst, man. If there's a drop of blood in the water, we will fucking attack. Right, Morgan? I mean, especially combat arms guys. We any fucking hint of weakness, good, bad, or ugly, we're on them. So Bonzi kind of experienced that this week on multiple episodes of Dean's show. And I'm not going to rehash that shit. That's not relevant to this. I do want to say three things about Bonzi that people may or may not know. One, he went through a lot of fucking shit, you know, in his recent life with a divorce and PTSD issues due to a horrific incident he witnessed. And you know what he did? He said, fuck this shit, sold off all his shit, bought a bus, toured the southern United States. He also was in Nicaragua running a bar on a beach. Now think about that for a minute. Running a bar on a beach. You remember the movie Cocktail?
That's
Come on, we watched that shit and we were like, wow, fuck, I want to be Tom Cruise. I wanted to be everything Tom Cruise was in every movie he was in. I wanted to be a fucking fighter pilot. I wanted to drive NASCAR cars. I wanted to run a fucking bar on a beach. Bonzi did those things. He did all the fucking shit. He had the testicular fortitude, and he has 3 balls, by the way, to go actually do this.
Well, that's why he was able to do it.
That's why he was able to do it. He literally,
it's the third ball.
It's the third nut, man. The karma of the third nut. He tripled down and said, fuck it, sold his shit off and went and did the shit that most of us wish we could do or we dream about doing, but don't have the fucking nuts, you know, to fucking go do it. So that's one thing about Bonzi. Number 2, he's a fucking great guy. He's well-spoken. He's articulate. He's a voice actor. I shit on him for being on his computer all the time while he was here, and he was on it a lot. But he's getting scripts coming at him all the fucking time. And I figured out this guy makes about $50 an hour just reading these scripts. No stress, no drama, no issues in fucking life. Fucking how good is that? So that's what he does. Crazy. You know? Number 3. What the fuck was number 3? I don't know. It's irrelevant. He's a fucking solid fucking dude. He got shit on this week. You know, and I get that as a military guy that comes from that world where we smell one drop of fucking blood in the water and we just attack that guy. But here's the thing. We would defend that guy to the fucking death and have. So literally. And I'll I'll leave it there. I love that fucking cat. He's a solid motherfucker. He's welcome back here anytime. Do I bust his balls? Yes. Do I care that he's got hurt feelings? No. But I love him and I will protect him to the fucking end of the world. And he's welcome back here anytime. He's a solid dude. We'll fucking leave it right there. So I'm late. My internet was fucked up. And here's the real reason. I got this new fucking retro game console. And I'm like, okay, I got a little bit of time. I'm going to fire this up and test it. I started playing Double Dragon and Commando. And suddenly I'm like, fuck me, man. I got to get upstairs fucking now. It is awesome. It's got like legit joysticks and the buttons and the whole fucking thing. It is the fucking coolest thing I've ever bought. As a 50-year-old man reliving my fucking youth, my misspent youth, where every quarter I ever made went to a fucking arcade. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely, man. You can hear the happiness of like a 12-year-old voice.
I bought 2 things for myself for Christmas. One was a fucking Sig Sauer 1911 Scorpion, because I felt like I needed that in my life. And number 2,
everybody needs one.
Fuck yeah. And number 2 was this Snipes. Is that really you, or is it some Bitcoin fucking asshole trying to hack me?
Yeah.
Dave Rhino got hacked today, like robbed. I thought Dave got into Bitcoin and made 20 grand in 5 hours, and I went, that's highly unlikely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I ordered this game console, and I'm like, oh my God. And it's not like one of those piece of shit ones with the controllers. It's legit got the joystick, the real feel, and the buttons. And there's fucking 10,000 games in this thing. Because here's the thing. For all of you kids out there watching, Mr. Lindley is on. I hope you survive the Bonzarelli. He's a fucking solid dude. Although he probably left a whole ton of shit at your house. I don't have the attention span nor the coordination to play the modern games you find on the PS4, PS5. And I did a video on Instagram several months ago, High on Mushrooms. Well, I was trying to play the new UFC game. And there's like, you take a PS4 controller. Do you guys have a PlayStation?
Yeah.
No, I don't play video games at all.
I didn't fucking think you did.
Ever.
Good for
I
you.
dove into Red Dead Redemption.
He grew up in Newfoundland throwing rocks at a tree, and that was like fucking the game. So, and I got these games, and it takes 20 fucking hours to play them, and like the button combos, the joystick's got two thumbsticks, right? It's got fucking 2 triggers on each one, so that's 4 buttons plus 4 on this. It's too much, man. It's too much. You know what I need? Fucking Frogger. Get the frog from here to here. There's no buttons, just a joystick. There's some cars, then there's a pond with some logs and some turtles. That's it. You got 3 lives, and you if you don't, there's no save, and then redo. These fucking new games are for these little millennial cocksuckers who can't handle fucking real life. Back in my fucking day, 3 lives. Fuck you, cunt. Put in another quarter, you're done. Oh, you're out of quarter? Go fucking do your paper route. Go freeze your ass off humping around the city of Edmonton or Calgary and fucking earn your $60 a month. Real life shit. Real life shit.
Yeah,
Anyway.
real life, yeah.
Oh, man. But anyway, so I got this thing and I'm like, fucking done. This is it. This is going to be my life. That PS4 will collect dust. I'm playing Frogger, Galaga, Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, fucking Commando, Double Dragon, all the old school 81 classics.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are cool for sure.
They're easy to play. They're designed for fucking idiots like us that have no coordination left. I'll give you a good example. We're going on pre-deployment training. Morgan, are you LAV qualified driver? Probably not.
Yeah, LAV 3 actually I was.
Oh, are you really? So anyways, my EOD number 2, we didn't have a Cougar over there. And I think I told this story on a different pod.
I like it every time we talk about having a Cougar in Afghanistan.
It's not the I thought it was the same Cougar. So when they said you're getting a Cougar, I was thinking of the 76 millimeter pumpkin gun, right, on the AVGP platform. I'm like, what the fuck? Are you serious? I think.
Yeah.
Anyways, it was an MRAP. It's that thing right there. So I jump in the cockpit of this LAV 3 because Dale's going to run me through emergency driver training. Fucking forget it, man. It is designed for PlayStation kids. There's fucking switches, knobs. It looks like, if you're old enough to remember the original Battlestar Galactica from the 70s, okay, you're not. Right? The Colonial Viper, that's what the fucking sitting in a LAV. Like, you're almost lying down in it, and there's fucking, it's too much. So anyway, so that's why, I got this retro game console, and I'm just loving it. So we got a few viewers on. That's good. Yeah. So 2022, which feels like 2022, like part 2.
Part 2. Here we go.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, what do you think?
Who's calling?
On the locker room, who's in the house here? Mr. James P. White. No, it's Tara. You're in early. You might as well jump in on the conversation.
I wasn't ready. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Absolutely, I can hear you.
Okay.
Look at how fast I am on the caption button. Fucking, I am on it.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Tara Graves.
Yes, Miss.
A TNT podcast, which is all about cars and big tits and fucking driving fast and drinking beer.
Yeah, tomorrow night, first live.
Tomorrow night, first live show. Anyways, we're going to come to that. We're talking about predictions for 2022. I don't know, man. To me, it feels like a fucking reboot of the last 2 years at this point.
Yeah. I don't see any change at all. I think it might get worse. I don't know. I mean, even the price of things right now is ridiculous when you go for groceries and everything.
Yeah, prices for
fuel.
anything right now.
I'm not looking forward to the summer and putting Supreme gas in the Hellcat, I'll tell you. It's going to be pricey.
You'd have to get us fuel sponsor.
What, you don't put an 87 octane in that thing?
No, 94.
From co-op? 94.
94.
You have to use, so you could get 110.
You have to use super gas. So Yeah. Yeah. I'm not looking forward to it.
Up, food's going up.
Everything.
This Omicron, unicorn, whatever the fuck, something that sounds like a transformer bad guy.
Decepticon, exactly.
It's just fucking nuking everybody, but nobody's really feeling it, too much.
So you realize, I don't know, during the House of Commons the other day, the member from Carleton, he's a conservative, Pierre Poilievre.
Yeah.
He actually stood up and so Canada right now, like our debt right there. Chris, on that note, I see my screen name. Check it out. I did that for Sean Ellis. That's for you, brother.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah. Anyway, Canada is what, 9 trillion, dollars in debt. So to put that in, like, if people are like, oh well, what does that mean? That means every single Canadian has to pay $240,000 so that Canada as a country can remain solvent. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there.
I believe it.
So, I mean, realistically, if Canada, some good financial advice right now from your lonely infanteer, the fountain of ignorance, according to the Blue Rocketeer, I'd stop paying taxes because the country's probably not even going to exist in a year. So, I mean, you got another $16,000 in your pocket or so. I mean, fuck it, right?
I like listening to him sometimes. He's a good speaker here.
Yeah, Pierre for sure. Yeah,
he is.
Yeah.
No, there's a lot of guys out there that are spitting out factual data as to what this looks like on the back end and what the price tag of it's going to be. You can only make it rain for so long. And I'll tell you what, I was having a conversation today. At some point, you have to just let this thing ride.
Yeah.
No, you do. You cannot. Continuous lockdowns, continuous messaging. How much money is being spent to promote shit we already know?
Yeah.
Why don't you throw that money at the health, the fucking broken health system?
Yeah.
And
the frontline people and
fund the frontline workers, fund the nurses, fund the doctors, fund the ICUs, instead of this bullshit info campaign about telling me, how many people I can have in my house on New Year's Eve, or how many people can go to the fucking bar or whatever. Like, you know what? One, no one gives a fuck anymore because we've been dealing with this for 2.5 years. I'm triple vaxxed. I wear my mask. I got it. I get it.
Yeah, you protect you.
And people are still getting this new variant, which it's going to do what it's going to do, and it ain't going away this year. So what's it going to look like?
Yeah. Scary.
It is. So on that restrictions, like, fuck me.
I think there's going to be more restrictions.
Well, and when they're so mixed, like all the messages, they're shutting down. You can't go and eat at a restaurant, but I could go to the mall.
But if I have a job, if I have a job,
it's going to be one way across the board. I mean, that's why people are like, "What the heck's going on?" Like. Yeah.
No, and like people, we've seen this, observed this for just about 3 years now.
Yeah.
2020, 2021, now we're into 2022. Over 2 years.
Yeah, over 2 years.
Okay, and the hospitality industry takes the brunt of the abuse because why? The federal governments regulate. In Alberta, it's AGLC that regulates the industry, so they can control that. It's easy for them. You have to close at this time. You can only have this much capacity. You could stop serving liquor at whatever time because that will stop the spread. It makes no fucking sense. So
some of it does not, and I think that's the problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
Too right, like just say if you don't know, just say or
they put up plexiglass. They're having to print paper menus. The operating costs for all these businesses has been exponentially higher. Yet their revenues are cut in half due to capacity limitations, which impacts staff. Implementing. I know Ontario is just getting the QR code thing, which is fucking weird. Do you think you would have had it by now? Us backwoods hillbillies out west, we've had this thing for 6 months. And good news, it doesn't work that well. Any third, fourth, fifth place I walk into, it says I'm deceased. you know, or it gives you a green check mark or whatever. It's like scanning your.
So there's a
fucking
few bugs in the system.
Well,
Yeah,
isn't
so
Alberta's the only province in Canada that went with their own independent system as well? Was it not?
No, BC's is also their own thing because
Oh, really?
it wasn't rolled out nationally,
Yeah.
right? As nothing really is. It was devolved to the provinces to figure it out. And to me, it makes sense. It does simplify the process. The QR code app reader, you can download it onto your phone and check your own shit. It's easy. So the bar or restaurant you go into, you show them your code, they scan it, little green check mark comes up, you show them your ID, in you go. It's actually a pretty good system to simplify the process.
Have you ever not been asked or it's on the wall or at a desk when you first walk in and they want you to do it yourself?
Not yet. No, most places have been good because the fucking Nazis will come in and shut them down.
Well, I know a couple of people that have gone into places and it was left up to you to do whatever, and
absolutely,
and they didn't do anything, and they went in and sat down and nobody asked them a thing.
Good.
Yeah. I went into a couple places where it was pretty obvious nobody was going to check.
And I bet there's a lot like that.
And when they did, it wasn't even quick enough to check whether or not somebody had a driver's license and a library card in their hand. Like nobody. There's some places where they're asking the waitress or greeter or wherever it is, and these people are making minimum wage, and they're already having to do triple cleaning jobs and do their obvious already job. It's I don't know. Are you gonna trust someone to basically look at your health records who might be not qualified to? Have they taken a course to acknowledge what's the difference between a fake and a regular QR code and all of that kind of stuff as well?
Listen, just do what Sean does. Listen to Terry from Facebook. Fucking, he'll tell you.
Oh, Terry from Facebook is even worse. Yeah.
Who's Terry from Facebook?
Yeah. Just that right wing nut.
He's a fucking expert in everything. Just ask him. Anyway, so I really don't see this year being any different. The question is how long will people's resolve, or compliance levels, and I know that's a tough word where people want to start coming fucking unhinged when I say that word. At what point do you go, okay, enough's enough?
Chris, you're exactly right. Compliance. Wearing these goddamn masks. That's all it is. It's an exercise in compliance.
It's a compliance piece.
It's not a law. It's a fucking rule.
Right.
So why would anybody do it?
Yeah, it's a big
like
ask.
The fact that people want to walk around and say we live in a free country, but you can't walk into a goddamn restaurant without having to produce papers. I'm just saying. I'll leave it at that, but just
okay, saying. Rebel News called and wants you to fucking.
Are you American?
Just come back a little bit left.
I fucking wish I was American.
Yeah, I can tell.
Wow, this is going well.
I'd sell my soul to the devil to be American.
Outside of COVID, so right now, to kind of get back to a fucking military themed show.
Yes.
The Canadian Armed Forces is deploying. I'm sorry if you guys, I can't read all your shit right now because my eyes are all glazed over. I was playing fucking video games for an hour. There's about 200 people going to Quebec to support something to do with vaccinations or something. I don't know. Quebec needs something again. So send them money or fucking army people, like whatever, right?
If it's Quebec, it's definitely money. They just want money. It's Quebec.
They want money. Yeah. For sure. Well, we're looking
everybody's
at
money.
200. The last thing I read from the health minister, the honorable, who gives a fuck what his name is, 200 members of the Canadian Armed Forces will be deploying to Quebec if they're not based out of Valcartier already to support fucking who knows what. And my assumption is, and Jen's on the fucking thing here. She could probably speak to it. Okay, yeah. Anyway, Jen, give me useful info.
It's probably off vector is what she's referencing.
200 people. My assumption is there'll be logisticians, but probably within the medical service branch to help fucking do what Quebec just can't do on their own.
They have a
I don't know what
shortage
it
of
looks
medical
like.
professionals, anyways, in that province. Yeah, they've already fired 90%.
I mean,
of
even
people.
us
Yeah.
too. We're
Yeah,
short
yeah.
here.
The better
Yeah,
question is,
Ontario's going
why
through the
does-
same shit, right?
Yeah.
Like the
Nurses
number,
are
the
walking
number.
off the jobs. Doctors are. There's all kinds of shortages.
Yeah,
if they,
A lot of
absolutely.
jobs
if,
coming up.
if they didn't fire a whole bunch of people, I'm just saying they wouldn't be as short staffed.
That's like AHS
Who
too.
is this
You know
guy?
Yeah.
What you
No,
what you can
you gotta-
expect from Morgan on tonight's conversation is a lot of just saying.
Just
Just saying.
it's proof.
Just
It's
saying.
fact. It's stats, though. I mean, yes, they're short. Everywhere is short right now, but everybody just cut and laid off people because they were actually not busy at all, except for some of the ICUs were maxed out. But they've kept everything else like it's pulling teeth to get into the hospital because they don't want anybody coming in.
Yeah.
Now let me ask another question, and I'm really going to count on. There's actually a few medical people on this. Brad Hops is watching. My ex Jen is watching. She's a nurse / OR tech, and Brad's a firefighter / paramedic. So I'm going to let them kind of weigh in on this. But at the end of the day, the health system across the board in any province, and despite any government, is fucking been underfunded and neglected and not prepared for what we're dealing with.
Absolutely.
I think that's a fair statement.
For 2 years. For 2 years.
Oh yeah.
Pull your head out of your ass.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Did you watch Ryan
Well,
on Dean's show? He made some really excellent points. Like, I mean,
Wild.
even the kids being out of school, he was saying things 2 years ago that they could have put in place, had already organized, never did a damn thing.
Like even
There's
when you
a
wake up in the
giant
morning,
disconnect between politics and the regular people right now, and I think even the regular people who are educated, who are nurses, physicians, doctors, amongst the regular working folk, there was something going around YouTube where they had I believe she was a doctor.
Terry?
Yeah, say that again.
Who's Terry?
Terry from YouTube.
Terry from YouTube. Yeah, no, she was a physician and she went on to CBC and she wouldn't agree with the interview's rhetoric. And she actually started to spit facts and she's like, no, like some of this storytelling needs to stop because in fact, the cases are, yes, some are higher, but now they're starting to equate the other facts. They're starting to realize that they're actually putting the flu and cold symptoms or those are being tracked as a COVID case as well now.
Yeah.
I mean, these things that are starting to be shown on CBC, on CTV, where they're showing us exactly what we know because we've been spinning this kind of stuff for 18 months.
Bryce, nobody got a cold or the flu last year. It was COVID or nothing.
I don't think they were tracking actually.
No, because what they did is they just stayed at home like regular people when you get sick and you don't go in and get an extra test. There's no need for it.
So I agree. Well, it doesn't matter what I agree. The fucking science says that this is going to go from pandemic to endemic, which feels inevitable to me. And I'm not a fucking endemic physician or whatever the term is. It's going to go that way. And we're not
saying it's going to be a year.
Show talking about COVID, by the way.
Yeah.
There's my man, Jimmy. Let's bring in an expert.
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. James P. White from 95.7 Cruise FM. Who's
Jimmy.
I didn't brush my hair for this.
He did. He's also an expert on endemics.
Yeah.
Am I? No, I just let Locke talk and just go from there and deal with the text.
Right. So it's going to go endemic. It is what it is, which means it should be fucking managed that way, just like influenza. Yeah. We don't have all these big campaigns and absolute waste of fucking money on media and info ops campaigns, for lack of a better term, to say this is bad. If you haven't figured out that coronavirus is a fucking problem by now, you're fucking right, man. That's all I can say. I mean, and right now, what's clogging up the ICUs allegedly, and I know Sean because he talked to Terry earlier. will say that this is not necessarily accurate, is being clogged up by the anti-vaxxers. Now, that being said, don't even fucking start with me. We all know that
I hear the
anti-vaxxers
complete opposite. I hear those that are in the ICU are actually the ones that are double vaxxed because they've traveled and they've caught the Delta and the Omicron variant, and now they're actually hospitalized.
Yeah, actually, Bryce, I'm going to springboard. I'm going to dovetail into what you just said, because I'm not going to talk to Terry from YouTube because he's a nut job. But so when I'm going to talk to people, the facts and the websites that I will refer to them to will be Stats Canada, the Center for Disease Control, World Health Organization, AHS, all of these websites. And if you go to AHS, if you go to Stats Canada, right now they're saying 75% of people with Omicron in hospitals right now are double vaxxed. So, like I said, I'm not talking about Terry. I'm talking about AHS. I'm talking about Stats Canada. So exactly. these are mainstream numbers that the government is going to push on us, but they don't talk about it.
Statistics that they're showing us right now. Yeah, 100%.
And let's be honest. According to our illustrious fucking leader, Prime Minister Selfie Stick.
Well, that's why we have the regular day updates.
The anti-vaxxers are all fucking extremists, racists, and misogynists.
Yeah.
Now, he said this in French, so I'm thinking maybe he meant Albertans, but it came out as anti-vaxxers.
I wonder if there's a translation error as well, because it doesn't sound like something JT would say, especially speaking in his native tongue of French. And he knows
I thought
his
he was
audience
Cuban.
On French. He's Cuban. Yeah. Well,
yeah, he's Cuban.
No. He's not Cuban. His father was Cuban, but he's not Cuban.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad.
And his mother was let's just say his mom was very active.
Man, that was the time frame, though. Anybody from the 60s and 70s will tell you.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, it was.
I bet you half of us were conceived through swinging and or other.
No, too funny. Once again, he just says dumb shit. I was going to bring up a quote today that I thought he said, and it was disproven. It was fucking bullshit. So I'm not going to bring it up. Anyway, so he was on, speaking Parley La Ding Dong on some fucking news show and said that. I'm like, well, right on, dude. So, and it's misogynist, not polygamous. I thought he was attacking the Mormons for a second. That's not what he's doing. He's not doing that.
Those still exist in BC, though.
Yeah, so
goddamn Mormons.
Misogynists are people that hate women. So racist extremists that hate women are what are the bulk of the anti-vaxxers in the country. So how many people haven't been vaccinated in Canada? What's the fucking number? Like, is it that fucking high that we have that many racist, women-hating extremists in the country?
We're still sitting in the millions. So
yeah.
That's a lot of women-hating racists, man.
I know.
Like, it feels like CSIS are involved or some shit because fucking
play the devil's advocate there. Now, is it going to be a man or a woman who's going to be a misogynistic, hating towards women?
I think only white men can be misogynistic and racist. Don't quote me on that.
I don't agree. One of my sisters are.
Oh, really?
Oh, 100%.
She's a racist misogynist?
Oh, she hates anybody.
So Jimmy is a man in isolation right now with perceived COVID from your delusional narcissistic boss. Not that he's watching this.
He's not my boss, but yeah.
Like how are you making out, buddy? You're double vaxxed.
It is what it is.
And you have lizard blood. Like, I've seen you regrow a limb.
That only happened once.
Like, he got dragged. Listen, this is a true fuking story.
I didn't lose a limb when I got dragged by a limo. Or by the Uber. I just lost a shoe or two.
There you go. So James, I'm pretty sure. So James, a few years ago, we were coming back from the football game, and he was dragged by the Uber. This nervous Russian guy. I jumped in the left seat. So the story is clear here. Lachlan jumped in the front seat and does what Lachlan does. Changed all the presets to 95.7, yelled at the guy and scared the fuck out of him. So he punches it. We're on White Ave. We've been drinking all fucking day. And Jimmy's fingers are hanging on like fucking Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible, whatever, where he's hanging off the plane. And my instinctive response was, "Come on, Jimmy!" Not stop the car. Needless to say, you saw the fingers go like that, and boom.
And
I had to get out.
It was me screaming, "I'm not in yet."
Oh, I thought you said giver. Anyways, so Jimmy's fucking entire bottom of his left leg came off and was down the road. Locke went and grabbed it, a shoe with a leg in it. And by the time he got back to the fucking Uber, James, with his reptilian blood, had regrown his leg. So,
including my pants and sock.
That's true. Where are we going with it?
That's impressive.
Wow.
Jimmy's had COVID 5 times this year, and he's well on his way to recovery. So it's going well.
I've never had it.
It's not what I heard, man.
I've just got symptoms, so it is what it is.
What's your symptoms?
I get irritated easily by stupid people.
Okay.
Meaning you and people that I will not name. I am a little stuffed up, but I've been having sinus issues for the last 3 months, so I don't think it's that. But it is what it is.
Do you guys are you like me?
I actually like broadcasting from my living room because I don't have to put pants on.
You weren't even wearing pants on New Year's Eve, man.
Good
Chris,
point.
is Jimmy aware of where I'm broadcasting from right now?
Your bathroom.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I've seen this podcast, and I was in the room when you did.
Yes, right, you were
with the pictures.
Fucking chitter.
You're sitting right on the toilet. I know.
Right on the John right now.
Are you guys like me? Like when you hear of somebody you know that you saw like the other day, and here they have COVID, you immediately fucking start having symptoms that aren't there. Your brain's saying, like the other day. So Monday morning, I woke up, my fucking throat was killing me. I felt like total shit, and I'm like, I got COVID. And then I realized, I got 4 hours of sleep, drank like a fucking wild man last night, and I smoked an entire pack of cigarettes. So maybe I don't have COVID. Then I had a coffee with some Baileys, beers. I felt normal again.
Yeah.
But you get that thing going on where.
Well, because it's right there in our face every single day.
Exactly.
It's around us everywhere. Can't get away from it. Can't travel. You can't, go on holiday just to get away from it all. You can't get away from it.
You open up any social media platform, and there's always a COVID-19 warning.
Yeah,
I freak out every fucking time. What's going on with the drag racing circuit? With COVID and shit. Like, what's happening?
We right now in this, like, we're done for the season, and they were open. I didn't go this. I kind of missed this season. Took a bit of a break, but the tracks were open, and limited people were allowed. So, it was people were still able to get out and do that and have fun. But I mean, in the beginning, they weren't open. They were completely locked down when we had our first lockdown, and so. But in the States, they're depending on what area they're in, they're still running.
Like you would think. Right,
like
exactly. Because
the States is a whole different ball game. Like my sister's in Indiana, schools are wide open, life is normal. They're just continuing on.
My wife's cousin, he's a lineman, but he works south of the border all the time. And his last gig, he was in West Virginia. He's been in West Texas, Georgia, Alabama, Louisiana. He's been everywhere for the last 2 years. And I was talking to him over Christmas.
Fucking Johnny Cash on.
Yeah, and he was back here, and he's like, he's from Grand Prairie, and he's like, what in the hell is going on? He's like, this is unreal. And I'm like, what are you talking about, Sean? And he's like, dude, he's like in West Virginia, because he just came back from West Virginia. He's like, man, he's like, Pete, when you mentioned COVID, people are like, COVID. They're like, never heard of it. It's he says absolutely, it's incredible. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
very different.
Fucking people that work in coal mines and don't believe in science.
Fair enough. But like this is like I said, this is West Virginia.
That's where Tina is, West Virginia.
We call that the Miramichi up here, but
fair enough. But it wasn't just
Oh.
West Virginia. It was a lot of he was also in Nevada, like I said, Arizona, a lot of these places. So I mean, we can make fun of these people, but I mean, we're talking between all these states I just mentioned. I mean, this is probably twice the population of Canada. We can't just write these people off and say you're all crazy and you're all stupid.
And there's so many of them to kick up a stink, right?
And
For
so
compliance,
close to us,
that they don't have that there as much because there's
Which is
so many of them.
Which is why I love America.
Yeah, it's good. It's got its good points for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was there last March, and I didn't have to wear a mask, and everything was open. It was like a whole different world. I couldn't believe it. I almost felt free, yet I was still nervous about it.
Oh, you can't say that word, Tara.
No, I honestly did. I
right-wing word. There's no freedom on this show.
I felt like I was able to, go to Target or do whatever. It was a completely different world when I was down there compared to here. 100%.
No, and it's and the rules we have, Ian, like I said earlier, are only designed about what they most certainly can control, which is 100% attack the fucking hospitality industry. Right? So
yeah,
the bars can be half capacity. You have to close at this time, but there can be 800 assholes in Costco the next day.
Yeah,
it makes no sense.
Big corporation, right? Big corporations.
Yeah, so it is what it is. I just back to the original point. 2022 predictions doesn't feel a lot different than 2020 or 2021. The question is, at what point will the masses, the majority, go? Those who have been, played the game, got vaccinated, wore the fucking mask, all the stupid arrow on the floor. Who the fuck is shuffling their shit around?
Not me.
That's the Blue Rocketeer, I think.
Fuck, man, you're fidgeting around, bud. Fucking like you're fucking. It's like you're doing renovations right now. Anyways, I lost my train of thought.
So back to the original program.
Back to the original point. Go ahead, Tara.
The future.
The future, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look that different, I don't think, either. I don't know.
No, it doesn't.
I know that people they've had enough.
Yeah, and at what point are we going to say, listen, stop it, I got it, I'll wear my fucking stupid mask or I'm done. Or I'm not following your dumb arrows on the floor in the grocery store because that fucking 90-year-old bitch or that fucking Asian chick isn't doing it. We're done with that shit. I don't want to do that anymore. And these bars,
many times I never would see anybody directing you. Oh, you can't go down this way. I never saw that once in the last 2 years.
And so really,
if you're not going to follow through with it, what's the freaking point?
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
So they cancel the fucking World Juniors, but the NHL goes on.
Yeah.
Why? Because these 18-year-old, 17-year-old kids, fit as fuck at their prime, have some guys had COVID, so shut the whole thing down. But
there's a Raptors game, like the other night or last week.
It's because the professional sports make so much money, like the arenas and everything, that it's just they want the money, and the World Juniors don't even touch what the professional stuff does.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
So it's like that episode of South Park when they were looking for the cure for AIDS, and they went to Magic Johnson's house, and the cure for AIDS was money. And his bed was made out of money, his house was made out of money, everything he had was made out of money. So I guess that's it, hey? The cure for COVID is just money and lots of it.
Anybody who gets it should just get a handout.
Anyway,
how socialist do we want to go?
It's fucking disappointing they canceled the World Juniors. Canada was on fire. Connor Bedard was on fire, and they shit canned it, and they're filling everybody's heads with these false hopes of a restart at some point. No, bullshit, not going to happen.
How many teams were coming down and were actually sick, though?
Well,
Or was it by number? Was it number driven, or was it just because one
so
of
what
the
Weren't
was
they already
reported-
there? Already
what
in the
was reported
hotels and
first?
everything?
The Russians, I believe the Russians had it first. Then it's Team USA. It's irrelevant. Fucking once one team has it, 5 teams have 2 or 3 cases here and there. They'll never say it. And then, like, you know, I'm not saying I called it, but I said the day I heard the Russians team was out, had to forfeit because they couldn't play. That's how it works. Basically, by the end of it, you would have had Belarus as the fucking winner by default. It's shut down, done. The fucking thing was over. The minute one team had it, they all have it.
Yeah.
And depending on which news source you read, and I don't trust you to read any of them, if they failed to manage the bubble properly. They restricted the bubble to a floor in a hotel and expected teenagers from another country to stay there, which they didn't do. It doesn't matter.
No.
The point is, there was teams with COVID and they shut it down. In the NHL or the big money making teams, they contain it, manage it. Okay, Connor McDavid's out tonight. Are you fucking telling me that the Oilers just played and got the shit kicked out of them again 2 days ago? That if Connor McDavid has fucking COVID, it's 3 to 5 days to determine if Omni fucking whatever kicks in, that the half of the Oilers don't have it, and they're going to get their asses handed to them by Toronto tonight. And I hate saying that, but it's probably true.
Yeah, really.
Are you fucking kidding me? Bullshit. It's about money. So money trumps everything. Money always wins. Otherwise, they would have shut the fucking game down and wouldn't be playing it tonight. And that's
Yeah, I've heard so many people say, follow the money, follow the money, follow the money.
Yeah.
Like you keep hearing that over and over again.
So that looks like the balance of fucking 2022 to me.
Looks great.
Man,
More restrictions. Here we come. Yeah.
More restrictions. But Tara, you had your chance to play this. Now, I'm not talking about fucking COVID all night, because it feels like it's the driver of 2022. Me personally, I'm going back to work at the end of the month.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, fast 6 months off. It's time to get
You
back.
excited?
No. What my last 6 months has taught me is I'm really ready to shut down what I do for a living and do what I want to do for a living. But there's this little thing called money that we were just talking about that precludes that. However, it's a good gig. It allows me to do a bit of both. So I'm not.
Yeah.
Being a professional drinker doesn't make a lot of money.
No, it doesn't. And I've tried.
I know.
You should almost sort out your military benefits, Chris.
Yeah, Chris, sort of military benefits.
Yeah, there's almost like a team that has been designed around the food bank that's in place now to actually help with that.
There's like multiple teams that could help you out.
And the
I really
Legion
wanna
has a
go-
team, and there's service officers.
I got fucking like 2.5, 3 weeks before I'm back in the saddle. I'm 2 weeks in, 2 weeks out, which is a good shift.
Mm.
And I really want to do that doc. Man. We just need to figure it out when it's going to work. So for everybody that's watching or listening when this comes out later, if you haven't heard me say it before, we really want to do a documentary on the homeless veteran population, and I know I have resources available to me to do that. And fuck, man, it's 800 below. Bryce, you're going out tomorrow night?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Every Thursday I go out. We start right now in behind the Bissell Center on 96th Street. I think it's street. Maybe it's avenue. I don't know. Bissell Center. It comes up on GPS, on Google, and all that kind of stuff. And then we go out anywhere from 2 to 3 hours, and we're handing out hot chocolate or a hot drink of some kind, some food, some snacks, sandwiches that are pre-made, because there's a sandwich team that spends a lot of time doing their gig, and there's usually 3 to 4 people being driven by an amazing volunteer named Rena, who dedicates 1 million hours a month. I'd have to think, because she also comes out for the Sunday walks through the River Valley, as well as the Thursday evening walks. And then we just travel around. We go through Rogers, and we can always tell when there's a hockey game going on, because all of the parking areas get turned into security zones, and all the homeless get scraped away from the front of the access points, because then it makes it look nice when all the Suburbans pull up on the back of the Ice District Center, but it's been a problem in downtown Edmonton for a while. That's never really been addressed.
Have you ever given them weed?
That's part of our harm reduction, actually. Yeah, we have a harm reduction team that comes out with us, and several of those veterans or volunteers. Sorry, not veterans. Everything from cigarettes to pipes to like anything needle wise, all of that kind of stuff. Everything safe, free access, and then there happens to be some cannabis that's been donated every now and again.
Hang on a second. I want to rewind.
Yeah.
Is there a needle program?
Yeah, safe access. Absolutely, dude. We also have people that are going in behind us as well and picking up all of our harm reduction tools. We also have people that go out and pick up the needles in behind us. We have the exchange program too, where we actually have people who walk around with buckets. And there's been a volunteer who's in his own time created a handle that's never been, so you don't actually have to handle the product itself or the actual container.
Now shout out from the Colonel.
Yeah, and it's one of those, man, where he created himself and now he's brought it out to the Water Warriors, which we're turning into a not-for-profit, and we're always looking for donations as well. WaterWarriorsYEG.com. Yeah,
and I want you got to get one of those people on the show, man, because I want to talk to them.
Absolutely.
Right, that's amazing.
I mean, we serve up to 300 sandwiches every week.
I've had mixed feelings about needle programs, but
you can also hate on me because we also serve the sex industry as well too. So the whatever you want to call them, those that come up and need high heels, or they need an extra backpack, or they need safe consumption, or extra sex condoms, or any of that kind of stuff too. I'd rather see that kind of product go out. We've actually lost volunteers because of the people that we serve. And I think if you're going to serve,
why do you do that? Like I get the addiction bit, and containing it. And like I said, I have mixed feelings on it because I don't know enough about it. So I don't speak of shit I don't know about.
Yeah.
So tell me about this, because now Tara, remember when I was talking about going completely fucking left wheel?
Yeah, this is how.
Now but I wanted to ask too, and not to sound too ignorant, but is there a big problem here?
Oh, Alberta, there's a giant
veterans and
it's not just it's not just veterans that are on the street. There's a mixed crowd. There happens to be a sprinkle of RCMP, city cops, military veterans, engineers, you name it. There's all sorts of different people that find themselves on the street, and we're literally just one paycheck away from making it that way anyways right now with everything that's going on.
Keep talking. I'm blocking some fucking cunt spammer again.
So I actually have a donation site set up at the Veterans Association Food Bank in Edmonton. They have usually a tri-wall or two tri-walls set aside for everything from those hand warmers to winter gear. We're always in search of men's clothing. It just seems that by the time that we get out on the streets on Thursday, leading into the River Valley walks on Sundays, most of the time we don't have enough clothes to go around.
Okay, let's rewind. I need to go back to these hooker boots you're handing out.
we do accept
probably
donations.
Make a donation.
Absolutely.
No, like in all seriousness, I'm trying to get my head around why you're doing that.
I kind of get it. Like I've worked.
Jimmy, okay, hang on. Jimmy used to be, well, he still is a male stripper.
And I get it. Like some of the women in some of these places that are stripping or any of that kind of stuff, they're hooked on drugs. They're hooked on whatever. They're trying to feed their kid. They're trying to do this. And so it's easy money is just shaking your money maker, I guess. It goes hand in hand, not with all of them, but there are some that need that in order to survive, in order to, not have their kids starving on the street, not to be stuck in a, ODing in a ditch somewhere, or with all the crazies out there, some of them disappear. It's, it's necessary for these people because that's all they know. That's, hey, I'm on hard times. I can't make any money. I'm going to go, make it whichever way I can.
So, Bryce, when you're handing out these, and if you need a line on giant black rubber cocks, Jimmy's got somebody for that.
No, she was shut down.
No,
And I can show you pictures from our trip to Vegas, but that's neither here nor there. In all seriousness, is the mindset behind handing out this EIS? Sorry, that's an army term for, I don't even know what the fuck.
Extra supplies, yeah, the harm reduction supplies.
Shit.
Yeah,
handing out these things to promote their trade, if you will, whether it's a stripper or a escort or a fucking hooker. I'll call it what it is. Is that you're facilitating their income? Like, what's the mindset behind that? Because I'm like, why the fuck are you handing that shit out, man? Like, I'm trying to get
first of all, I've never dealt with a stripper or any of that kind of nature. And I mean, the women who do, and it's not just women. I should put that straight out. There's a lot of other spectrum of people that are out there as well that are doing the hooking part of things as well too. And I don't even know what the political term of it all is. But at the end of the day,
okay.
At the end of the day, why it's being handed out, all the harm reduction stuff, because harm reduction saves lives. That is the big one. I'd rather see a needle or something like that go out than somebody sharing a needle and dying from drug poisoning or another disease, and then that disease then adds to the healthcare system that doesn't need the extra nonsense that's already in place. So I'd rather see that kind of stuff go out on a regular basis. And I think there should be more people supporting harm reduction. There's a lot of science behind it as well. If we're going to dance around the science part of things, we've also got the leader of the NDP has come out several times in support of our harm reduction program. We've had other politicians who were in the mayoral candidate. Those are always the fun ones that come out because they try to donate as much time as they can when they're trying to get into a position. And then once they've either lost or they're not into that position anymore, they kind of take off.
The leader of the NDP, you're referring to Rachel.
No, not Rachel. The local one. Sorry.
Okay. Because I'm like, I can't imagine Rachel Notley in a pair of fucking hooker boots, man. I want to fucking throw up.
No. Well, we don't. I mean, we hand out clothing of all kinds, right?
Yeah.
Men and women clothing. And when it comes to the extra backpacks or the extra stuff that they need, that's actually part in the wagon program that we have, because we have people that pull wagons that either have sandwiches or your harm reduction or your hot chocolate tends to be showing up quite a bit. Do we work with the crisis diversion team or the Hope Van? They're always out doing their own 211 calls. Right now, we get our water donations from the Bissell Center, which is a giant cost reduction from us, because we're able to take that $200 plus and then put it towards more sandwiches. And the Bissell Center has been doing water donation calls throughout the summertime. So it's one of the places that really helps us out. We do a lot of our shopping at Costco. So I don't know if Costco wanted to step in and maybe help us out a little bit, because we spend upwards of $200 to $400 on supplies every week going out to do this. Of course, we're heading our way into not-for-profits. So yes, we're going to be getting funding and grants and all that kind of stuff, but we're always looking for donations. Just hit us up at Water Warriors YEG. We're up on all of our social platforms, or our website is .com.
Yeah, man, we got to get somebody from that. I still need to come out and do a walk. I keep talking about it and I keep not fucking doing it. So
no, that's okay, dude. We usually have a lot of people when it's minus 40 out. Our volunteers that usually do come out are the hardcore ones, the ones that are always kind of there.
Yeah.
You never really see. No, that's not true. Last week we actually saw 3 new faces out of nowhere, and because with masks you don't really. And the 19 layers to try and keep warm, you don't really see it until all of a sudden you're lining people up and you're like, ooh, who in the fuck are you? Who in the fuck are you? But it's
That's
summertime.
good.
We find that there's a lot more people that come out too. A diverse amount of people that come out as well.
Yeah, I mean, and shout out to you, Bryce. For everybody watching or listening later, Bryce is more than just weed, right? He does a lot of fucking
good on you,
shit
Bryce. That's amazing.
to help people.
Didn't even realize you did all that.
Cleansing my soul from the time from I've lived an adventurous life, to say the least. So I may do a lot of good stuff now, but there's a lot of stuff that's not so good in my life.
Yeah. All of us, eh?
Yeah.
Really?
We've all got battle scars of some kind.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Chris, you look frozen there. What happened?
Yeah. Internet issues.
There you are.
There he is.
I'm going to take a hostage. So what I was saying was, I'll edit this out later before I port it to audio. Bryce, kudos, bro. You're doing more than just weed, and I love it. And I want to get somebody from Water Warriors on it. I want to get out.
That's
and
super easy.
See what's going on in the streets, man. And I'm obviously my focus is on homeless vets, but I'm not going to pass up the problem that is nationwide. And
absolutely, dude. And the worst part with the RCMP and the veterans that are unhoused is it's not very often that we either see their faces or that when we do go into the camp, into like the encampment areas in the River Valley, it's not very often that we will even breach, because you could only imagine someone who's on the street isn't always coherent mental health wise. There's going to be a drug issue of some kind. And I'm not saying they're all drug addicts and crazy out there, because some guys are just choosing to be there instead of living what we are living right now. But there's definitely mental health issues every time that I've spoken to one. And they've got security measures in place because we've all been trained in that kind of stuff. And I mean, these guys have gone Vietnam era style. They've got trenches, they've got spikes in places, and these tents are set up and they're fortified. And
they have to defend their shit, because if they fall asleep and they have
it's not even defend themselves against others. It's defending themselves against peace enforcement officers that are being told to do their jobs and go out and clear these areas. And it's a regularly weekly thing where the places that we go to serve people on Tuesdays, on Thursdays, or not Tuesdays, that's sandwich teams and sorting days. But Sundays and Thursdays, there's days where we're hunting for people, because other weeks where there was 45 or 100 people in that area, there is now nobody. All the tents are burnt. They've taken a bobcat and cleaned up the snowy areas, and then they've moved them to somewhere else. So we're walking an extra 15.
It's
20
city
minutes
beautification project. They don't
absolutely,
man.
Yeah.
I mean,
are you out west? Is that where you are?
Alberta? Yeah,
Alberta. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
he's in Edmonton. We're all here, and I remember like when myself and Jimmy did a thing at this. It was a bit for the show for cruise on the funicular, but from where I parked the truck to get up there. Okay, James, help me out here. How many tents and shit did we see there?
Oh, it was
absolutely.
It was tons, and we were there. We were giving away beef on a bun that was given to us by JT's Bar and Grill, and we were giving this away to anyone who wanted it. And there was so many people that were like, you'd hear stories about, that people that are homeless, that are down on their luck, are mean and they're ignorant, and not at all. They're like, oh, thank you, can I have another one? Thank you. Like all
some
all
of the worst manners are
such a misconception, right?
Oh yeah,
it is. It's huge. Like Jimmy's
some of the
nailed
kindest
it.
people.
Like, hey, is there any way I can have another one, or can I get one for my friend, or
yeah, absolutely. Or I'm going back to my tent and there's 5 more people. There might not be 5 more people, but whatever. Give them a fucking sandwich, right?
It's free food. It's,
Yeah, exactly. So there is age restrictions. I saw that high explosive comment.
It's from Daryl,
Yeah, you can totally bring kids out. However, 14 and up, they have to be, because we're also walking into areas where they are using drugs, and we're high, like
It's a risk.
Yeah, there's also some other risks that come about because we've come into some security issues or safety issues. It's not a major concern, but there are times where we have to keep our heads on a swivel because somebody's carrying a knife for security, or a fight breaks out because somebody didn't get the extra sandwich that the person before them got. Because there's a lot of big kind hearts that come out with us, and sometimes somebody extra gets an extra sandwich. But circling back, you have to be 14 and accompanied by a parent up until you're 18, because there's also major insurance and waivers and stuff like that because of coverage that we have to take forth from that place too. So,
what about midgets?
Yeah.
Great question.
If you bring your manners, I'm sure I can get you to pull the hot.
Oh, I don't mean me. I've got other midgets.
He's got a buddy.
Oh, other midgets. Yeah, sure. Or can I call them that?
Most of us don't care.
They go by little people. I should have a segment.
Politically correct is little person.
I wanted to jump into this, but we should have our own bit called Ask a Little Person. Anyways, I'm gonna skip this because Tara's done it. Jimmy, unless you got any questions, you want to ask an Army guy anything, you can. Otherwise, we're just gonna flow, man.
I think I'm good. You and I have had many discussions on many days.
Many discussions, yeah.
And usually we're both hammered.
Yeah, you met a lot of military people. Daryl, myself, Jen. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, we need to continue this conversation. I want to get somebody from Water Warriors on. I want to do a doc on homeless vets and have that conversation. It's a lot of shit I want to do. But right now, we're gonna segue a little bit. Our two guests here are both relatively new podcasters. Fuck, I'm relatively new, and they've got their respective E2s. Well, I guess Jimmy, this is technically your episode 3 tomorrow. So
yeah.
Jokes aside, James, the actual name of James's podcast. Fucking hang on, here we go. Is the Jedi Jimmy podcast. It's not the Jumpin' Jimmy Jedi Jamboree. It's not Junkyard Jimmy jamming with the Jedis, like I always say, or you hear on the fucking radio. That's the name of his show.
But there is a second line that this is the nerd you're looking for.
Yeah, I don't have that loaded up, man.
No, I'm just saying it.
Fucking spoiler alert. Spoiler alert, bro.
I am the nerd you're looking for.
Yeah, Jumpin' Jimmy podcast, the book of Boba Fetish. That's from your buddy Positive Mike.
Yeah, I love Positive Mike. I like him better in front of a car.
So, wow,
there's a reason I don't have a license.
Tell the fans at home what your show is all about. You got episode 2 or episode 3 coming up tomorrow.
I'm doing episode 3 tomorrow. So the first episode was basically giving the backstory of Boba Fett. Then every show, right now, I'm dealing with tomorrow's podcast will actually be dealing with episode 2 of the Book of Boba Fett, and I go through details on the types of characters, the backstory of some of them, and all that kind of stuff. I go super nerd.
Your webcam died. This looks like your fucking grade 6 class photo.
No, it's just my
hair.
I haven't left the house in 4 days.
That's right. So yeah, if you are a huge fucking Star Wars nerd, check it out. He breaks down every episode, and I love this shit on Disney Plus. I watched The Mandalorian. I'm watching the Book of Boba Fett because back in the day I was a big Star Wars fucking guy, and Jimmy breaks it all down for you on his show every week, which we record here.
But I also do challenge people to out nerd me. So if I say something wrong or misrepresent something, call me out on it, and I will actually admit on the next episode.
There you go. And once again,
oh, it's the Jedi Jimmy podcast.
The Jedi Jimmy podcast, not Junkyard Jimmy's Jet, whatever.
I didn't say that. You say it. You
I
and
fuck it up every time. I love that picture. I'm gonna save this and cherish it forever. Yeah, and also tomorrow, it's like a fucking double hit, man. Tara Graves and her lovely friend Tina. By the way, I saw Tina did a post at Christmas time. She has like a giant rack. It is unfucking believable. I couldn't stop staring at it, but that's neither here nor there.
It's beautiful.
Am
I
I
love it
wrong?
too.
Holy shit.
No, I love it.
She was
Absolutely.
on my show, but you just see the headshot and you're talking head bullshit. And then she puts this thing on Instagram. I'm like, holy fuck, man. Wow.
She's fantastic.
But
Yeah.
in all seriousness, all jokes aside, they are doing, they did their first show, recorded it, and it was great. And they're doing their first live one tomorrow. Tara, can you walk us through episode 2 live, your first live?
Yes.
Yeah.
Our first live. So
Walk us through this. Who is that dude? What's it all about?
So we're going to have a friend of ours, Gary Rudy, on just to kind of go through the process. It's Drag Racing 101. And we're just going to go through, the basic steps of drag racing and go over the track, weather conditions, your tire setup, what do you need to get started? How does it all work? Go through the whole process. And he's going to give us a hand on that. Yeah, so it's going to be great. Yeah, we're super excited.
So for all you ladies watching this, you too need to convince your significant others or do it yourself and buy yourself a fucking Hellcat and run a 9-second quarter mile like Tina did in her minivan.
Mom's car.
Yeah, you can get her. What's her handle at Mom's?
9-second
mom car. 9-second mom car. Yeah.
And her license plate actually is Mom's car.
Yeah, you can check out her. You could check out her 9-second minivan and her giant rack on her Instagram page, and you will see both of them live tomorrow night. On what time are you on? Let's bring
9
that
o'clock.
up again.
Yep, 9 o'clock. And
that's what Alberta time? Hang on a second.
9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so well that works out good for us.
For you?
No, that's 7. That's good.
Good. Okay. Oh, you're 2 hours. Okay. Yeah.
Perfect. So everybody, please check that out.
It's scary and exciting at the same time.
Are you amped up? Like, look how fucked up this show's been.
I'll be fine.
It'll be fine. Don't overthink it. Don't underdrink it. Have lots of don't drink tequila. I've seen what happens to you on the tequila.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, never again.
There's no amount of color grading I could do to the last.
I know. Can't you fix this?
I mean, why the fuck does your neck keep getting redder?
It just got brighter and brighter and brighter as it started to kick in, I guess.
Well, I'm really pumped up. And their show is more than just cars. They're going to get into sexology and real life shit and blah. Like, I wish, I don't want to give anything away, but she showed me a fucking screenshot of some loser that sent her a suggestive comment.
Maybe you have it. You should put it up.
No, that is gold. You need to save that. Don't even show that to anybody. Don't let that get out there. Fucking lock that shit down. Of what goes on in the rest of her life between dealing with a fucking loser contractor out in Ontario. She lives out by Barrie, which is by CFB Borden for you Ontario people or for military people. And she's getting fucked over by a contractor.
Yeah,
and she's dealing with the day-to-day bullshit of real life. Mm-hmm. And she also drag races fucking Hellcats, which is, I'll tell you, pretty cool shit. So
it's super cool.
Please check out, if you're a Star Wars nerd, check out Jimmy. You're still like fucking stuck.
I'm still here. I haven't moved.
You look great though. Let's be honest, man. You look fucking great.
I should have brushed my hair.
Well, the headphones mess it up anyway.
So check that out. Check it. There's that's just your Twitter handle. They have like 9 handles. I didn't have room to fit them all.
No,
you'll find them on Twitter. You'll find them on Instagram. You'll find them on Facebook. And I'm gonna watch. I can't wait to see how this goes. I want to see how
we're excited.
And don't stress. It's going to be fucking awesome.
Thank you, sir.
I want to thank you guys for being on. Thank you for your time. I know everybody's got other shit to do tonight. We didn't
Thanks
even
for
get to
having me.
Once again, we didn't get to half the shit I wanted to talk about, but whatever. Fucking
It's
great
another
conversation.
show, another time.
Another show, man. We do this every week. Every week. Every Wednesday. I want to thank everybody who listened in, who's going to listen in when I port this shit out to all your favorite
To the
podcast
worldwide
platforms.
universe.
To the worldwide universe, iTunes, fucking Spotify, YouTube, wherever it ends up going. Yeah, good conversations. Bonzi, I love you. Glassy, tell him I love him. He's had a rough week. Brad, good to see you. Thank you for everybody for hanging out with me tonight.
Yeah. Hey, Brad. Say hello.
He's there. And I'm gonna wrap this shit up.
Well, thanks for having me.
You are always
really
welcome.
appreciate it.
You are always welcome.
And all your help and everything along
Always
the way
welcome
so
to
far.
this fucking complete colostomy bag that I call Fire for Effect Live with me and my good cohorts here. So yeah, until next week, we're gonna wrap this shit up. Thank you very much. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, to recap everything, great conversations with everybody tonight. We could have kept going, but I really got to rock a piss. I need a smoke and I'm out of beer. And yeah, we're gonna park it there. Fire for Effect Live has been brought to you by DeanBloodell.com. Go to DeanBloodell.com for once again for all your news, all your sports, all your podcasts. Dean's website's got all kinds of interesting shit. If you're looking to get away from the conventional crap that you get from the news these days, go to Dean's site. Positive Mike, big shout out, makes the best beer I've ever had. Honestly, I can honestly say that as a fucking huge connoisseur of beer. Mr. Hooper Inc. Again, as we discussed tonight, Bryce does more than just weed. He's doing work with Water Warriors. Check out his stuff. Lakeside Farmstead. Tomorrow night, check out the Jedi Jimmy podcast. Check out the TNT. No, not that. Fucking hang on. The TNT podcast with Tara and Tina. And no creeping on Tina's fucking social media. I did not put you fuckers there. Don't creep. Be nice to people. And yeah, thank you everybody for listening. And we're gonna punch out.